good noon. First, I would like to confirm the announcement that the President will not be calling for a special session on the request of the Senate. Senate members told the President through, I think, Secretary Diokno, that it's physically impossible for them to hold a session because it ended yesterday. And I suppose there's so many activities that will involve the attention, the presence of all members of Congress. So in deference to that, the President is not calling special session. Number two, I would like to read the joint statement of the members of the Cabinet on the House resolution asking the President to reconsider the appointment of Secretary Diokno, as well as in the matter of his appearance and the manner by which the members of the House conducted the question hour. This is the joint statement of the members of the Cabinet. Actually, they submitted separate letters, but this is the gist of all those statements. It is incumbent upon Congress to accord utmost respect, show sobriety, and observe the demands of ethical refinements when inviting officials from the other branches of government in their committee hearings. Officials are invited as resource persons to shed light on issues of national concern that our lawmakers hope to hear and understand. Akin to when the palace calls on the honorable leaders and members of Congress, the executive branch must show them courtesy befitting their positions as religiously observed before. From Secretary Bernadette Puyat has the same message. She stands by Secretary Diokno and she vouches for his integrity and competence. Likewise, coming from Secretary Fortunato de la Peña. Secretary de la Peña is also outraged by the manner by which Secretary Diokno underwent a grueling that is not deserving of a member of a cabinet and also that of members of Congress. Also with respect to Secretary Ramon Lopez, the same message is addressed to the President. He also vouched for the competence and integrity and honesty of Secretary Diokno. As we have repeatedly said, while we respect the independence of each branch, it is elementary that these branches must accord respect to each other. And the golden rule always applies. What you do not want others to do to you, do not do unto them. Every time members of Congress are invited by the President, or when they make courtesy calls, they are accorded due respect. And so we, of course, demand the same respect when they invite members of the Cabinet, and for that matter, any worker in the government. Thank you.
Thank you, Presidential Spokesperson, Secretary Salvador Panelo. MPC question. Celerina.
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, you have mentioned
Afternoon.
that... good afternoon. Oh, good afternoon. Sir, you have mentioned that the palace would not allow similar incident from taking place again. How?
How? Well, we have many options, or let's say two options. One, we will decline any invitation if we feel that they will be repeating the same kind of treatment that a member of Congress would suffer in the process. Number two, we will go there if invited, but the moment any sign of disrespect is given a member of the cabinet, we will excuse ourselves and beg leave from the committee hearing.
Sir, apparently it was House Majority Leader Andaya who became disrespectful to the Budget Secretary. Do you think there's a need to like somewhat come up with a disciplinary action against him by the House?
Well, this is the judgment of the members of Congress. That's without our domain. That will be the function of the Ethics Committee.
So regarding the budget, during the past 2 years, the Congress was able to pass the GAA on time under the previous leadership of both houses of Congress. Under this new leadership, do you think it has somehow an effect? It has an effect on that failure to pass on time the budget naman for 2019?
Well, they have their own reasons why there was a delay in the approval of the budget. What is important to us is that we did our duty, and the failure is not on our part, but on them.
Is the palace disappointed with this failure to pass the budget on time?
Well, certainly, because we thought since we submitted the budget on the first day, when we're supposed to have 30 days within which to submit, we are, of course, disappointed that it did not pass as expected.
Do you hope that this would not happen again in the coming years?
Well, I hope so, because a lot of services will be affected.
Thank you, Celerina, MPC. Virgil?
So did the Senate or Congress for that matter give a commitment as to when they could pass yung national budget for next
No,
year?
they did not. But I suppose they will, when they convene in first week of January, they will be tackling that.
Yes, sir. So, Secretary Diokno ulit, does the palace share the opinion of the other cabinet secretaries that the resolution calling on Duterte to fire Mr. Diokno was swiftly approved and submitted the day after, indicates that the series of acts was politically motivated and reeks of power play and ill purpose?
Oh, yes. In fact, I already made that statement prior to the statement of the members of the cabinet, that we are, let us say, we're dismayed by the House resolution.
Virgil? Any question? Okay, Tina, please. Mike, please. Thank you, Pia.
So, sir, is it safe to say that the stand of the cabinet, that the president also echoes the stand of the cabinet? What's the official stand of the president regarding this issue?
Yes, it's the same stand of the president. The president, if you recall, the president has already made statements on that he will not allow any member of the cabinet or any member of the military or policeman, officials who are invited in a committee hearing to be treated with disrespect. After all, we're all workers of the government and under the peril of the people of the Philippines.
Sir, what are the expectations of Malacanang now from the members of the House of Representatives regarding this?
Well, I suppose, having said our stand, they would know at this time that we will not allow any further disrespect to a fellow worker of government.
Does that mean they should toe the line of the executive?
No, they should exercise the demands of ethical refinements, meaning to say, we should be exercising courtesy and civility with each other in the manner by which we perform our constitutional duty. Courtesy and civility with each other in the manner by which we perform our constitutional duty.
Thank you, Tina. MPC. Joseph?
Sir, just for just so we don't assume. What
But
were
in fairness to the members of Congress, as pointed by one of you, it was only one or two that made the behavior of disrespect. And I suppose not all of them agree by the way Secretary Diokno was treated.
Having said that, sir, just so we don't assume who the palace is referring to, can you describe and cite instances where a specific congressman may have been disrespectful in his manner or her manner of asking the budget secretary?
The way the questions propounded by Member of Congress, Andaya, we saw the video in the news, and we saw how arrogantly he threw questions at Secretary Diokno and how he mocked him.
Oh, yes, sir. Are you interested in looking into the original allegation that Congressman Andaya inserted certain projects that are not did not go through the DPWH channel in the preparation of the budget? Meaning, the DPWH is saying this is not part of the program, and it's just Congressman Andaya's proposal. There are projects like that. Are you interested in looking into that?
What do you mean?
All right. In the budget process, the DPWH comes up with the programs, yes?
Yes.
And then that's what you submit in Congress.
Yes.
Now, when it reached Congress, some congressmen, for lack of a better term, maybe inserted certain projects that may not have been included in the DPWH level. All right, for example, specifically, 1.9 billion from Congressman Andaya, I think. Sabi ng DPWH, it wasn't part of our proposal. Meaning it is on the initiative of Congressman Andaya. Are you interested in looking into that insertion?
I think the members of Congress should be the one interested in looking at that, because that is precisely their function, to scrutinize and to review the budget. That is their job. If they have any complaints on the way the budget was submitted and they feel that there were some misalignment, then it's their job. As the President says, do your job. Because Congressman Andaya was saying that he showed it to the President, do your job. When the President says that, do your job as member of Congress, not in the process of doing your job, you're going to disrespect a fellow worker of the government.
Okay, so yun muna, sir, and probably shift the topics later.
Okay. Thank you, Joseph. MPC, any question? Other topic? Doon muna. Bago tayo mag-other topic, doon muna tayo sa sa issue.
Sir, how do you describe now the relationship between the palace and Congress, specifically the House?
I think it's still cordial. Hopefully these incidents are isolated and it will not be repeated. I think it will not be repeated.
Okay. Thank you, Salarina.